everybody, it's Teresa. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to make a necklace today. I sat down here with the intentions of making a bracelet and somehow it morphed into a necklace. I don't know. That happens to me. I just do what the beads tell me to do. I bear no responsibility. But anyway, I'm using some of the beads from the GGC's treasure bag called Midnight Blue. Unfortunately, it's sold out now, but she'll have another one coming out here in a little bit, I'm sure. They sell out really quick. These are the 4x6mm electroplated gray triangle beads. These are the 6mm deep sky blue bicone crystal beads. These are the 3mm round silver plated synthetic hematite beads. I'm going to use those for spacers. This is the 22x15x8mm sky blue faceted glass leaf pendant. I've got a couple of the bicones and a couple of the triangle beads in here. I'm going to make a little tiny pair of earrings. This is going to be a kind of a dainty little necklace, I think. Maybe a minimalist necklace is what they call it, I think. I don't know. I've got a couple of connectors in there and a couple of eye pins and a couple of ball head pins and a couple of ear wires. And then in here I've got some findings. I've got a lobster claw from my stash, some chain that came in the box, some jump rings, some little connectors that I'm going to use, some 2x2 crimp tubes, a couple of wire guardians. I think that's all that's in there. I use the Beadle-On crimp tubes. I've got my bead stoppers. I've got my soft flex beading wire in fine. It's 21 strand. I've got almost all my tools, I think. I've got my chain nose pliers and my round nose pliers. I really just need my round nose pliers when I get to the earring part because I'm going to make some wrapped loops. The round nose pliers are I got those from BB Craft years ago, and I don't know where I got these chain nose pliers. I've had them forever. I've got my tweezer pliers. They're Xuron, and my Beadle-On crimping pliers. I've got both pair of my bent chain nose pliers. I really will only need both pair when I get to the earrings because I'm going to make the wrapped loops. These I got from BB Craft, and these are Xuron. I've got both pairs of my cutters. One I use for bead stringing wire, and the other I use to cut head pins and eye pins and craft wire. I probably will only need the one to cut head pins and eye pins when I get to the earring part. I won't need it for the necklace. They're both Xuron. I have my little New Orleans shot glass. I just emptied him. He's all ready and fresh and ready to go. I'll only need that when I get to the earring part, though. He won't get a lot of use today. As much as I can, I'll try to post links in the description box for some of this stuff. As many as I can find. A lot of times people will ask me for links to some of the things I use, like the tools and the crimp beads and that kind of thing. And I'll put them, as many as I can find, I'll put in the description box below. They'll probably all be Amazon links because that's pretty much the only place I shop. Amazon gets a whole lot of my money. Let's see, let me get some of this out of the way and I'll get started. Okay, I'm going to pour out my beads here, and I know you're probably thinking, that is not enough beads to make a necklace. And you're right, it's not. This is just enough to make half the necklace. I'm going to string half of it, and then I'll string the other half off camera because it's going to be exactly the same thing. This is just going to be a really simple stringing necklace. It's not hard at all. So I'm going to pour these out here. I've got my bicones and my triangle beads and my little beads I'm using for spacers. I'm going to put on I'm working off the spool. I always do that if I know what my design's going to be rather than cut off a piece because it seems like it doesn't waste hardly as much. So I'm going to put a spacer bead on. And then I'm going to do 3 of my little triangle beads. These are so pretty and shiny, and I hadn't used any of them yet. I've used almost all these little spacers, though. They're very handy. Now I'm going to use another spacer. I don't think they're really meant to be, I mean, they're not spacers, they're beads, but I use them for spacers. Now I'm going to do 3 bicones. and a little 3mm bead. And then I'll do 3 more of my little triangle beads. It's going to be a very simple necklace, kind of a tiny necklace. That pendant was so dainty, I just sort of wanted to make the rest of the necklace dainty too, I guess. We'll put on another spacer bead. And now I'm going to do 5 of my bicones. And a spacer. 3 of my triangle beads. And a spacer. 3 bicones. A spacer. 3 triangle beads. Well, I can see the hole, but I can't find it. Now I'm going to reach over and get another spacer. I didn't have enough out here. No, yeah, I did. I'm going to do 2 of the spacers. I'm going to put my pendant on, and this is, I've already got a little 6mm jump ring on it because I needed to do that for it to hang the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to thread that on, and I'm going to put 2 more of my spacers on. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. And then I'm going to do exactly this same pattern. Exactly this same pattern on the other side, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is what I've got so far. And now I'm going to crimp one side of my necklace here. Oops. Come on now, don't blur. Okay. I'm going to take my crimp tube, thread it on here. Take one of my wire guardians, thread it on here. I'm going to come down the other channel of my wire guardian and my crimp tube. Keep my wires from getting crossed in there. We don't want that. If you do, your crimp will fail. Believe me, I know. I'm going to squish in my little wire guardian just a little bit. I'm going to take my crimping pliers and I'm going to go into the second, can't see them, the second part there that has the little divot on one side and the little notch on the other side. I'm going to lay my crimp in there. I'm going to try to hold those wires apart so they don't cross. I'm going to squeeze. Turn it 90 degrees. And that puts each of your little wires in its own little channel. And now I'm going to go into the top part where it's just got the little divots on both sides. I'm going to lay my crimp in there. And I'm going to squeeze and fold my crimp. I'm going to tug. That's good. I'm going to take my cutters and cut off my extra wire. And now I'm going to go to the other end here. Just do the same thing. I'm going to cut it off my spool. And take my other crimp tube, thread it on. Take my other wire guardian, thread it on. And now I'm going to go back down my other channel of my wire guardian. Back through my crimp tube. I don't know if I can get through this little 3mm bead or not. I try to go through a bead or two on this side because it helps to get my hands out of the way when I'm trying to crimp. But I don't know if I can ever get it through that or not. Yeah, I think I did. If I can coax it on through there, take my tweezer pliers and help it along here. Okay, I'm going to keep my wires from being crossed. Try to hold my wires apart. Hold on to the wire guardian, pull on the wire to pull it down. I'm going to straighten up my wire guardian and squish it in a little. And now I don't want there to be any slack, but I don't want it to be really tight either. So I want it to be able to drape well. So I'm going to try to accomplish that while holding all this. And now I'm going to go take my crimping pliers and go into the second part and lay my crimp in there and squeeze. And then I'm going to turn it 90 degrees, go into the top part, lay my crimp in there and squeeze to fold my crimp. I'm going to tug. That's good. So now I'm going to cut off. So that's what I got so far. Okay, now I'm going to get ready to put my findings on. Okay, now I'm going to put my findings on. I've got these two little connectors. Well, I had 4 of them, so I'm putting 2 of them in the earrings. And I've had them forever, and I never have used them, so I just decided I want to put them on here. So I'm going to take a little tiny 4mm jump ring. Y'all know the trouble I have with these little tiny 4mm jump rings. Oops, and I'm blurring. Okay. And I'm going to try to open this and hope it don't go flying. Put on one side of my necklace. Put on my little connector. Close it back up. So far, so good. I'm going to take another jump ring. Open it up, thread on my necklace, thread on my connector, did all right with that first one. Probably help if I put these pliers down. Close it up. Take another 4mm jump ring and one of my pieces of chain. I don't know if I said these little pieces of chain are about 5 inches. Well, there he went. He fell on my hand. At least he stayed on the table though, so that's something. Find where there it is. Thread on the other side of my little connector. And one of my pieces of chain. Close it up. Just gonna do the same thing on. Just gonna do the same thing on this other side. Open my jump ring. Thread on my little connector. Thread on my other piece of chain. Close it up. Okay. Now I'm going to come down here to the end. Take a 6mm jump ring and my lobster. Open that up. Thread my chain on. Thread my lobster on. I'm going to take my extender chain. These are extender chains I bought forever ago. They were already made. I already got that little dangly thing on the end of them there. Well, you can't see it, can you? I don't know where I got them. That's been forever ago. It's about 2.5 inches. I'm going to take a little bit bigger jump ring. I don't always use a bigger jump. It depends on how big the lobster is. This is not one of the tiny lobsters. If it was, I'd just use a 6mm jump ring, but it's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to use this little bit bigger jump ring. It's just an 8mm. Thread it on here. And thread on my extender chain. There we go. My necklace is all done. Well, you'd think I'd learn if I put the tool down. I could do better than trying to hold a tool in my hand and work my other hand at the same time. Okay, this lobster is not wanting to open. Oh, there it goes. I thought it was one of those that was going to be stuck, but it's not. It's opening. It's okay. All right, there we go. Now let me zoom out again here. there's my necklace. So now I'm going to get my stuff together here and make a little pair of earrings. Hold on. Okay, I changed my mind. I decided not to use those little connectors in the earrings. It just made them look kind of weird. So I'm not going to use them in the earrings. I'm going to take my eye pin, put my little triangle bead on there. I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm going to go just right above the bead so I don't crack my bead. Bend over at a 90-degree angle. I'm going to cut off and leave probably about a 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to hold this part so it doesn't go flying. I'm going to take my round nose pliers. Make sure there's no wire coming out over here. I'm going to roll back my loop. Make sure to get it closed up really well. And if your loop up here is not straight with your loop down here, which mine are almost never straight, just take both pairs of pliers and just twist it and make them be straight. Okay, now I'm going to take my ball head pin and my bicone. Take my pliers. We go to the very tip of the pliers. Bend the wire over top of the pliers at a 90-degree angle. Take my round nose pliers, put them in the crook of the bend, round nose pliers facing me. Bend this wire back until it hits the bead. Rotate the pliers till they're facing the table. Hold really tight. Take this part and bend it back till it hits the bottom of the tool. Cock it back a little to center it over the bead. I take both pairs of my bent chain nose pliers. I'm going to hold on with one pair, hold on to my loop, hold on really tight. I'll take the other pair, grab the tip of my wire here, and start wrapping. I'm going to try to get that first wrap to be really good and tight, because that, to me, that is the most important wrap. If I can get it good, the rest of them usually fall in line and behave. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to take my cutters, cut off my extra wire, take my crimping pliers and squish in the little burr that's left where I cut the wire off. Now I'm going to take my little triangle bead that I put on the eye pin, and I'm going to open it up, thread on my little dangle, close it back up, make sure I get it closed up really well, and now I'm going to take my ear wire and open it up. Open the ear wire just like we do jump rings and everything else. We twist it open. I'm going to hang my little earring on there. Close my ear wire back. Have a very little dainty little pair of earrings, or little earring. I'm going to make the other earring off camera and then I'll be back. So there's my necklace and earrings all done. I'll get the earrings up here so you can see them a little bit better now that they're all done. That's what they look like. Just a little dainty pair of earrings, a little dainty necklace, I guess. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. As usual, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate those of you who have watched my videos and subscribed to my channel and liked and commented on my videos. I have a website where I sell my jewelry. It's Teresa's Handmade Jewelry, and I'll put a link to it in the description box below in case you're interested, along with a link to my Facebook and Instagram and my email. If you haven't, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day. Take care.